I'd like to
Awesome.
share.
This is my friend Ari.
Yeah,
That
Nice
is
to meet
very
you,
sweet.
Psycho.
it's for my mommy.
Nice.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Banter.
That's
So
cool.
anyway,
Nice.
hi
I
Tony,
like
how you
it.
doing?
I'm good.
I
I am
haven't seen you since
good.
All
Oh.
Space.
Bandit.
God, this is
Hey, Faye.
wow. It's so
Right.
you know, and
What
we're
night
coming
was
up
Well,
on the
supposed to be the
anniversary. I'm
reading?
so
What
I
was the
I
date for
finally
that?
walked away from the
know.
hill.
Oh, that'll be tomorrow for you.
What
Nice.
I
day?
was staring at that last
Tomorrow.
message this whole time.
Tomorrow?
For
Mm,
a
Yeah,
year.
we'll talk afterwards, okay?
right on. Yeah, I
Oh,
know,
okay.
right?
All
So I think
right,
we all are.
everybody.
We're kind of frozen in our heads, so you know.
Well,
So, guys, if
We're
we
all
could
gonna
have
freeze
everybody
again.
head
I
off
need
of
to
the
find the right. I'll
platform
find.
over
Need to find the
here,
right
it would
spot
be
to stand.
awesome.
Just come
You
right
guys
over
could come over here,
here.
please. There you go. Thank you. Now, guys, we have a few people we have not seen here before. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tom Virtually
Yes,
Live,
welcome.
the Pod Talk. A couple of things, guys, since we've got some new folks too. Just a couple reminders. If you haven't read that pretty blue sign over there, please do, because I slaved away to make it so gorgeous for you.
She did.
Just a few
She
quick
did.
things from it. If we while we're doing this, if you guys want to, I'm going to talk about some topics here. We are going to discuss a few things. Now, we're not a tech podcast, but we are kind of tech heavy because that's a lot of stuff that people like. But the other thing I wanted to tell you is, in order to get your opinions, which we like to do, going to be asking you your opinions and your thoughts on things. In order to join us and speak and give your opinion, please jump up and down. That's basically the equivalent of raising your hand in here. And
Yep.
if you're like
That's all you
me
gotta
and you
do.
have ADHD and you want to jump up and down anyway, please feel free to do that
I
further off
do.
that way or up in there or somewhere so that it is out of sight, because we are live streaming this. And this will be recorded and put up also on YouTube after that. So we are live streaming now. So if anyone has any
Hmm.
concerns about that, we get it, no problem. But again, just read that little blue doohickey over there first. That would be awesome. So fantastic, fantastic. So welcome
Cool.
everybody. Glad to see you. Faye, Johnny, how has your week been?
It's been a lot. We had the fashion show here in Banter, and it was pretty amazing. Took a lot getting it ready and things,
That's
but
right.
yeah, it was
That's right.
awesome. Yeah,
That was cute.
it's
That
been
was
a
pretty
good
cute.
week.
I liked all the different avatars. What about you,
Hmm.
Johnny?
It was all right. I don't know if I'm too loud or not. I tried to
Oh,
lower. Just work's been pretty crazy.
can't.
So
Is it just
it's
me? I
been
can't hear
rough,
you.
but
You
I'm
can.
glad
There we go.
to.
There we go.
There,
Is
now we
that
can hear you
better?
better.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
sorry. I literally
No,
like
that's
slammed the
okay.
laptop in and did
That's okay.
everything for this. So,
No
but
worries.
I am happy to be here to talk with my friends, and hopefully we have a
Yay.
great show for you guys. So, strap
Yeah.
in, and I'm excited to be here. So.
Right on.
Yeah, we've
Right
got a
on. Right
lot of
on.
things to share with you today. Definitely.
Yeah, as you know, as usual, we like to go ahead and put some interesting stuff up here for you. I know there's a lot of things that people are always intrigued with. Of course, the AVP being one of them. So we got a couple things to talk about with that. So why don't we go ahead and start on some interesting information? A couple of these are
Hmm.
going to be just some little short things, but I want to give you guys a little bit of fun info. So this is a $3,500 headset, right? Let me see people jumping up and down here. How many of you people are? Anyone own it right now? Let me see that first of all.
Oh, no.
Okay, Joker, you've got it. Okay.
Really?
No.
Oh, nope. Nope, nope. Okay. He's all psych. So
He's like, I wish.
I know, right? We'd like to. Um,
Mhm.
so here's the thing. This thing, in order to make one of these, just a little breakdown on a few bits of the cost for this. So this is materials only. So the components for this thing basically come to about $1,542 is what was figured on this. And the most expensive part of this are the micro OLED displays, and there are two of them. So they're 228 bucks each for a total of 456.
Mhm.
And the second most expensive part of this are the two chips that it has, the M2 and the R1. And the R1 is the one that's dedicated to processes like the camera inputs, the sensors, microphones, stuff like that. And it streams the images to the display, and it does it within like 12, was it 12? No, 12 milliseconds, I think, which is like crazy. I don't know what
Wow,
that is. It's like quicker than looking at
that
me
is
without
crazy.
makeup and passing out. So, that's something. Um, Now, they are assuming that they're going to ship about 400,000 of these in 2024. And these costs do not include the packaging, shipping, assembling. There's a lot that goes into it, development, research, marketing, and all that. Now, are you guys, when you find out that basically the components alone are like, 1542, and there's not really a whole lot else that they're talking about with regard to cost. Are we still feeling that? Do we feel that 3,500 is fair for this thing? How many of you out there have had the chance to demo it? Let me see that. Has anyone been demoing it? Because Faye and Johnny here demoed it and shared their information. Joker, what did you think about it when you went to demo that?
So I have a buddy who works for Apple, so we got to test it before it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Whoa,
so personally,
that's
I
cool.
didn't like it because
Mm-hmm.
the heads like so the head straps are annoying. Like the features,
Um,
they're in my opinion
the mere Oculus party.
I'm more used to being on the Oculus headset, so probably that's
Mm-hmm.
why. Like I had the Oculus 2 to the Oculus 3, I didn't get the Pro. So like I'm
Okay.
so used to like
Mhm.
how the headset like for the 2 was like a little heavy up front heavy, but not as back heavy. But without that top strap, it really does bother.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like the head experience behind it in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
cuz like that strap does its wonders, believe it or not. Uh
Did
but
did you get a
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
chance
but
to try the second strap from Apple,
n-
the one that was
no.
a little bit I'm gonna tell you, that was a much more comfortable experience, and, if you have a chance to get to an Apple store and try it, it's definitely amazing. I really did like that much better. I was able to ask directly for it, and they were like, "Well, we want you to try the original one first, but then we'll go ahead and get this one to try," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that made a difference." But, if you're able to actually get the Bobo strap, like a lot of people are saying is a really good replacement for it, and then you can have the counterweight of the battery and all that kind of a thing. So,
I
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
wish I had
it
had
can
the
get better.
opportunity to try that one,
I do
but I
too.
didn't. Like when I went, it was kind of like the Christmas story. Like I was going to see Santa and they were like, "Hey, hurry up. Try your Apple Vision Pro." I'm like, okay,
Oh,
okay." And then they're
All
like, "And that's
intimidated.
it." And I'm
Is that
like,
why you called me and you were crying,
uh,
Johnny, where you were sobbing to me? That's why that was. He was so
no."
scared. Oh.
it was
It
traumatic.
was something else.
Oh,
It was
that's one of your
something
women.
else, but
Sorry. So
no,
sorry.
Oh
it
no,
was women's problems. But
women's
anyways,
problem.
yeah, but it was just like one of these things where it was just like it was so quick, and I get what he's saying. Like it's different, especially if you've tasted other VR varieties before, right? Like you
Mm.
have a preconceived notion of what it's meant to be, and we kind of like went over this in other past shows, and it's kind of like like they almost like took their own approach to VR from scratch, and I appreciate that, and I look forward to
Mhm.
what Meta can take from that and vice versa. With that being said, I'm just going to throw in my opinion and say, you know what? I think it's definitely worth the price for the tech, for the experience, like what you're getting. Like I was looking at some other, like, because yes, it is quite, I look at a lot of these stories, and I'm pretty geeked out with some of these things. And one of the stories I read, and we're not covering it today, but it's just like quick, but there's not a according to Canon, there's not a camera out there that's good enough for the Apple Pro. What they have in this headset is so high quality
Mm.
that the content is not there. Yes, they can go with a red camera and put ultra, like you can get two red cameras with the same lens, put them at the same distance, right? So that it looks like a 3D image from what you're getting, but there is
Mhm.
no real content for this now, and it's akin to when HDTV first came out, right?
It
HDTV is
needs
great,
to
but there was
catch
only
up.
like 5 channels. Things need to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
catch up. So I do think it's worth
Oh.
it, but the universe, the Apple universe, the content, the experiences are not worth it. The
It's not
technology
ready.
is. If we
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. It's like, it's like they didn't
Hmm.
come up with the fastest fuel for the Ferrari yet, but they're like, "Hey, here's the Ferrari, but
Yep.
we're still working on that fuel. Your radio doesn't work yet, but you got it." So,
Uh, That's too
Mm-hmm.
bad. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I definitely see that that's going to get better and better over time, but you do
oh,
wish that it
totally.
would come out at the same time as the product so that you'd be able to enjoy the content at that time. I know
Mhm.
some of the images that I did see in the Apple Vision Pro were exceptional, but I'm sure they had the ability to capture something that was much, much more high quality than the average consumer is going to be able to. So, very
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, we're gonna touch on a couple of other things with the AVP in a minute, but before I want to do also let you guys know this. If any of you have Netflix accounts, I don't know what countries everybody is in right now, but in multiple countries, and if you purchase them like the basic account off of your iTunes billing plan, you are going to need to change that around because they are booting longtime subscribers off of their accounts if they use the Apple iTunes to get signed up for their Netflix. And we all like to Netflix and chill. And you're gonna have to pay with a
Mhm.
debit and credit card now directly to Netflix. But what's happening is this was 9.99. So for many, 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 many years, people were staying on this account. It was awesome for them. And now you're gonna have to
Hmm.
pay like $5 more for the same plan, or else
Oh
take it off
man.
by about $3, but have a ton of ads. And what was interesting was that Netflix didn't even add Apple's subscription option until 2015, even though Apple was ready in 2010 for them, because I guess Netflix didn't like that Apple takes a 30% cut. I didn't
Mm.
know that. That's like,
Oh,
whew.
wow. I didn't
And
either. I'll
yeah,
need to
and I
check
guess
my
Netflix,
account and see if that's how I set it up. I don't know.
yeah, because Netflix was not happy about that. So in 2018, they're like, we're not paying Apple nothing else. So they just dropped the
Hmm.
in-app subscriptions completely. But I wanted to make sure
Wow.
to let everybody be aware of that because I know that we have people from all countries here that love their Netflix. So I want to make sure you get that. Um, Now I want to talk about these glass. I want these glasses basically. These are glasses that are only available in China, is where they're going to be right now. But um, so the Oppo has their new AR glass prototype that they unveiled at the
Ooh.
Mobile World Conference, right, in Barcelona, Spain, and
Mhm.
we will be talking about a couple things from there. And next week we're going to talk more about that as well, the MWC, because there's some cool stuff. They have like a three
Oh
thousand
yeah.
dollars cyber dog that I want. That Xiaomi has had $3,000 cyber dog. So for
Oh
Christmas,
my
I just want to
gosh.
let you know, putting that out
Is
there
that
for
what
you
you
guys.
want? Okay, I'll write it down on your list.
Do I
Although
have to
Motorola has a
walk it?
bendy phone, I want that too.
Do you have to what?
Yeah, you're gonna
Walk
have to
it?
walk it.
Can it walk
I'm not
itself?
doing it. Walk it, walk it.
Okay.
I would think for
Um,
$3,000 it must. It
you
has
think it would
to.
walk itself? I know,
Oh,
right?
It should walk
Um,
you.
but yeah, it should separately. Oh, yeah, good luck to
right.
that
It should
dog
be a
getting me to walk.
vehicle.
Good lord, are you
Yeah.
kidding? My fat happy ass is lazy sitting where it is, so I really would like that. But you can consider as a secondary gift the Oppo Airglass 3. So
Mm-hmm.
this is incredible. This is the prototype that
Those are
weighs 50
nice
grams.
looking.
Well, this is the point, right?
Yeah,
They look like normal glasses. That's what's so
they
amazing
do. They
about these,
do.
and that's like their major selling point. They're indistinguishable from regular glasses, which is incredible. And they're not uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time or anything like that. So in the upper right corner of it, they have like a full color display, which of course they're saying is like the most
Ooh.
amazing display in existence right now.
Oh, this is
Everybody's going to say
exciting.
that, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they've got a touch frame, and you get an AI assistant that you give commands. You've got a touch interface for voice calls, music, browsing photos, things like that. And it also has four mics and it has noise isolation. So they say that when you listen to music in public with this thing, that nobody can hear it, which is really awesome. Do any of you guys have
Hmm.
any AR glasses of any kind or anything? If you do, pop up and down because I want to hear some thoughts on this. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
Joker, what do you have?
you're unmuted.
Do
You
we
can
have?
talk if you'd
Oh,
like.
y-
Oh, I have the Meta
oh.
Ray-Ban glasses that came out with the Quest 3.
How do
Oh,
you like those?
awesome.
I love them personally. I love them. So I don't know if any of y'all went to the Meta Connect last year, or went
Mm-mm.
to the Horizons version of the Meta Connect.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
went to
There's a
that
lot
one.
of pros.
Went to that one, yeah.
Yeah, like if you went to the Horizons to go watch it, uh, like the glasses when I was there, I got the Quest 3 because of the Meta Connect. Uh, you know how they like described it for more for gaming and the Xbox, and gained
Mm-hmm.
the free copy of Wrath, which is a beautiful game if you haven't
Oh,
got it yet.
yeah, it is.
Mm.
Like
I've
if you
got
got that
Wrath.
Quest 3s, mm-hmm, two,
Mhm.
yep. And then like the thing with the glasses is I love them. They're not that heavy as I thought they would be,
Mhm.
especially since a lot of the glasses stores did get them early. Fun fact, and they're very comfortable, and you could try them in the glasses stores. And they're also made
Mm.
by Ray-Bans, so like you could
Mhm.
also put them for sunglasses and all that good stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So what was interesting to me is had a story the other day. We were talking about the fact that Meta is saying that they're backing off of AR, that they're going to back
Mhm.
off on the glasses, that they're planning. They said that 2027 is what they're looking towards as when they think they're really going to take off. Have you heard anything about that? About them backing off of the AR glasses for a while and kind of putting a pin
Not
in them?
not that from what I heard from my sources from Meta as well. Because
Mhm.
as me being a Meta creator, we do actually get to be in contact with certain people in Meta.
Mhm.
Uh, and I know a couple people that work in the high chain of command for those departments as well. Because at one
Mhm.
point, one of my buddies got to try this, and he showed it to me that the AI solution that world
Mhm.
creators will be able to have is AI generated, like where you can ask it a question and it will go off like with cool stuff.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love that. Um.
I
Okay.
tried
Well, let's. Mhm.
those meta ones, and actually I tried them in my local Gander Mountain. So I was looking at some sporting goods, and they had like
Mhm.
a Luxottica store in there.
Oh
Like,
wow.
so I went, and that's the first time I got to try them. They were really helpful, and they were really comfortable. So, but as far as these
That's cool.
Oppos, these are really interesting to me because since Google Glass, this looks like the first one that actually has a screen and audio. Like I have the X Real Air 2s, but that's just a screen. It's not really smart glasses per se. It's more you plug in your USB C to whatever can output a video signal. So I wouldn't
Mhm.
call those smart glasses, but it's one of those where I can play a video game or look at my phone or do whatever, right? And the
Mhm.
plane, watch whatever I want, and nobody can see it. They see like a little like bright eye, like there's a bright screen, little screen in my eye, and people are like, "What is that?" But they can't tell what you're wearing. If these Oppos actually have like an operating system on them and in connectivity and audio, then that's kind of really interesting to me because I'd like the whole solution, like something I could wear all the time that could connect to the net. So I might take a look at
Definitely.
these. And did they say how much they were? Or
Oh.
Mm-mm. No,
interesting.
they were just prototypes, yeah, right now. And again, they're not available here just yet. So at this
Oh,
point right
okay.
now, those are going to be available in China only. And then from there, hopefully from there they'll, at some point they'll make their way here. Not I hate waiting for these things though,
Oh,
like, okay, yeah, we're
I'm
debuting
sure
in
they'll
this
be
country, then we have to
secure
wait
Right.
like,
when they come here.
yeah, I mean, look at those things here. I mean, those would be like sell like hotcakes over here. They have got to hit this market.
Mhm.
There's no way they can't. I mean, seriously, that's exactly what
I'm
everybody's looking for.
I'm so excited
I
about
mean, look,
all
it
of
has to
the
be.
competition and all of these things that are coming out on the heels of the Vision Pro. It's just incredible. What were you saying,
Yeah.
It
Oh
has to
Hudson?
no,
be less than
absolutely.
3,500, right? Like if it's
Yeah,
less than
it has to
3,500,
be.
I'd be
Yeah.
more interested in buying this than the Apple Vision Pro. I mean, if I had
Oh
$1 billion,
yeah.
sure, I get an Apple Vision. But like
Yeah.
now, I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. This I would consider buying. The Apple Vision, not ready yet. Like I don't watch that much Netflix, and when I do, I want to watch it with somebody, you know. So for now,
Well,
I'm
Netflix and
sticking
well,
with
see,
chill.
something
Johnny,
like
if you had a
this
billion dollars,
or
you could
that.
buy Eve, the robot we
Oh,
talked about at the other show, and watch the Netflix
That's
with her.
right.
See?
That's right.
yeah,
There
I'd
you
probably
You could
go.
be
probably
like
put a Vision
doing
Pro
more
on her
real life
face
stuff
too.
with a nah, she could just go in.
Now I wanted to also bring into the mixes. We've been talking about some of Samsung stuff too, guys, and
Mhm.
so also available. They of course they unveiled this also at the conference. So Samsung unveiled finally their upcoming gogs, right, which is what I call the headsets, goggles. So they with their partners Google and Qualcomm, and they say this now. They say they do have a release date. They didn't before, but now they say they're going to release them in 2025. And for now, they're just going with the name of XR. They might change that going down the line. They are
Hmm.
not looking to make their GOGs spatial computing. They are staying with the AR, VR, MR stuff. And what they know about them so far is they have the micro OLED displays, they have 8 tracking cameras, they have voice commands, eye tracking, and hand tracking. That stuff's all been confirmed. They're thinking obviously they're going to have the XR2 plus Gen 2 chip because hello, Qualcomm's their partner, so. And then they're
Mhm.
thinking that because Google's a part of this too, that they might have some really good AI integration in there. So
Hmm.
what are you
That
guys
sounds
thinking
awesome.
about? How does that sound to you guys? Because
AI
Samsung getting in the
integration sounds
mix,
great. Mhm.
I kind of like that.
So look,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far
Fascinating.
in the weeds here, but you're talking
Hmm.
about like I guess exclusivity with content. Well, now you're talking about exclusivity with chipsets, and Apple knows this, and they did this with their computers, right? So they're no longer
Mhm.
doing
Hmm.
things with Intel. They're starting to produce their own silicate, right? So they're
Mhm.
doing their own stuff, and they're doing that stuff with the headset. So what's to say that now Qualcomm's only going to be working with X company or whatever? So now you're seeing not only privatization and exclusivity with content, but also with hardware. So things are getting real interesting to see what kind of advantages are coming. But like you guys, I'm all for more competition, and this sounds interesting to me. If they don't do the spatial, that affords them more bandwidth on that chip to do more things because all that stuff takes up processing power. And if they're going to say, hey, we're not
Mhm.
just going to do spatial computing and it's just going to be a heads up display, that could also be effectively achieved and could be a good product. The issue is we don't know how to actually identify how we're going to use this. And I'm not going to get in the weeds, but it's all good. I'm not trying to be boring, but it's just kind of like interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
well, yeah, I mean that's all very true. I'm just excited to see Samsung get back in the game. Really. I mean, honestly,
Me
they
too.
were back in the OG days, and so it's kind of nice to see them getting in there. Speaking of the game
Hmm.
and getting back into it, I am feeling very. Look at Discord. Look at this. Kitty's already
She's
over
like, she's
here. She's
getting
all
all
like,
up in
"Oh,
it.
I got to move around."
I'm
So
so
I'm thinking this is a good
sorry.
time. I'm feeling my legs need to move
Oh,
around. I'm feeling a little
Oh.
need to
really?
kind of a little need for speed, a little need for some movement. John, did you have any
A
tunes
little
hanging
bit.
around? Because I think it is
I
time. I
might.
think it
I
is
might.
time
For
for the famous
a
and fabled
No, no,
dance
dance
don't
break.
you
break.
Dance
dare.
break, everyone. Come on.
Woo!
Somebody else
Everybody,
told
join
me
us.
Ooh,
a
Join us out
secret little
here.
spot
It's time for a
only
dance
yeah.
I can
break.
share.
Come
No,
Let's
on.
no,
dance.
don't touch me
Mm.
Jump
there.
around.
Tell the creepy
Jump,
Woo-hoo.
crawlers
Yeah.
around your
jump,
school
jump
that all
around.
you
Yeah.
Right.
need to know is this one simple
Mm,
rule.
mm,
It's no,
mm,
no, don't touch me
mm.
there. Is what I told my
This
pops when he
is
told me
my
to
no
beware.
Oh,
square.
Tell him
Good
Oh
job.
no, no,
This was based on what we were talking about a
Started
moment ago.
screaming, my friends call my cat. I'm a smart
no.
guy in a dumb situation, and nobody's getting off at my no station. Hi, my name is Juicy. I was playing with my friends and sipping
okay.
apple
I
juice.
have not vetted
Great,
this, so I'm
great
gonna start
song.
fading it out. That's enough. I don't know what's coming next, but
All right.
took a
Ah,
risk
All
there.
right. All right. All right. All right.
Hopefully,
good
Look at that
song.
arc. Is
Feeling
oh,
refreshed.
oh man.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, I needed that. I needed that.
Yep.
All right.
Get the blood
Okay.
pumping. Yep.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. How sad. How sad that we're just sitting around and we're all like, all of a sudden we're like Jabba in his courtroom. Don't breathe. Okay, so let's talk about how those gorgeous AVPs are so fragile.
Oh,
So
yeah,
there
they
is a
are.
whole thing to how Apple ships a
Oof,
replacement if you
that
happen to break it.
picture.
Now take a look at that. Look at that glass. So this
Ouch.
dude dropped his on the floor and he was going to send this back, and they can break very easily and can shatter like this. But the other thing about them too is that apparently the displays scratch very, very easily. There was
Mm.
actually talk of some folks who have had their displays somehow crack or scratch. Well, I would say crack, the ones that crack while they're plugged in charging, like they're not doing anything with them, and suddenly they pick them up and they're like, how the hell did this get here? So there's been
Oh.
some of that going on too. So here's what happened when something like this happens. The options that you have, you can send it
Mhm.
for repair, which will take a long, 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 long time, or you can receive a replacement unit, and that comes to your home as soon as one is available. So this guy decided he was going to go with that option. And what happens? It arrives in a simple cardboard box that has a QR code on top. And when you scan it, it leads you to the support web page, and it tells you on the web page how to disassemble and reassemble the headset because the replacement does not come with speakers and it does not come with accessories, and you've got to basically take it apart and put it together yourself again. It's kind of like
What?
What?
a DIY.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
Wow.
sounds
I
fun to me, but
Oh
I'm not
my
I
So
gosh.
thought
everybody.
cheap.
For the kind of money that we're paying? Really?
well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but listen, well, listen,
Oof.
speaking of money, here's the thing too. You've got 10 days to send back the broken one, but listen to the cost of repairs, right? To replace that front glass up there, that is $799 to replace that. And then
Oh
if
my
you replace
gosh.
the entire
Nope.
headset, if you've got the
Nope.
Apple Care, that's with Apple Care. And if you replace the
Oh,
entire headset, to replace the headset costs you $2,399. Okay.
No,
Your de- and your
holy
deductible,
crap.
oh, that doesn't include deductible. So deductible for repair is $299. And then you pay a $499 one-time
Ooh,
fee if it's accidental damage. Oh, and then
nope.
$29 for accessories. Wonk wonk. It's kind of
Absolutely not.
Oh
anticlimactic.
my
That's
god.
it.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
I know that's
absolutely
it. 29
ridiculous.
bucks. Can you believe all those costs associated with this? And you
I
buy this, you
can't.
pay the Apple Care. It's in, well, I'm sorry, I go back. So
There's
let me retract that. This without the Apple Care is the $800 for the screen and everything. But
yeah.
if you buy the Apple Care, right? Let's say you buy the Apple
Okay.
Care and it breaks down, your deductibles and everything that you pay is going to basically be a wash. Because if you pay those prices outright without an Apple Care, you're going to basically be the same deal. So if you
Mm.
don't buy Apple Care and you take good care of your headset, you don't need to spend that extra money. You may save. You may save all that cash.
Mhm.
However, if
Mm.
are possibly going to be, busting a move in that thing and it might fall down or you're walking around like an idiot around the streets, crossing
I
streets, getting pulled
mean,
over by cops, which is happening. Um, you
yeah,
always wait
but
and end up
just
paying
normal
what you would
wear
have for
and
the Apple Care
tear
anyway.
that worries me. Wow.
Hmm.
Mm,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's rough. That's rough.
And
And
I just
I
the
didn't bring
prices are
that up when I
ridiculous.
tried it, but that's
Mhm.
Hmm.
something I knew that would drive me crazy. Like when I held it in my hands, I just thought like, this is so cool. And then I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna scratch like nothing. And hey,
Oh,
y'all can make
yeah.
fun of me, but I'm so nerdy. Like I will order the screen, like the eye thing, the eye inserts, not even the prescription ones, just the plain old ones,
Hmm.
and I won't use my
Mhm.
new headset until they come because I don't want to scratch the lens. I'm that bad. That's the
Well,
photographer
that's a
like
good thing.
person in me. Like I take care of my lenses like too like
Mhm.
probably more than I should, and then I'm like I get really like I guess for lack of a better term anal about my like lenses. So I have to
Mhm.
cover them and like I have a whole regimen and I clean the
Hmm.
headset once a week. I don't know. It's I don't do my yard work, but I'm
Gosh.
I'm like always cleaning my you know my goggles. But
Good Lord,
it's
that's
just
heavy
like this would
duty.
drive me nuts. Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
know. I like it. I like breaking things down, but even this would drive me nuts. I could not like if I had one scratch, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it would be
Oh
like
yeah, no kidding.
a horrible
Oh
day.
yeah.
You know how when
Yeah.
you hold on to your Quest 3, you have a substantial feeling to what you're feeling at the front when you just kind of grab onto it. When
Mhm.
you are holding on to the Apple Vision Pro, it is such a thin part at the front that's connected to the faceplate that was you just feel like you're going to drop it because
Oh.
it's fragile. So these kinds of things are very scary
Mm.
that you're talking about here just because of that. That's crazy. Mm,
Well, I mean, look at
To the
that
man.
point
glass.
where
I mean, God.
like
Mhm.
I wouldn't even want to use it. Somebody mentioned that before earlier or the other show we had is they're like, yeah, it's really good. It is kind of unwieldy. Like I don't want to use it because I don't want to break it. That would be me. I'd be like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Hmm.
sit here and not move and watch my home space, and then I'm gonna take it off and then go crazy with my Quest 3. Like that's what I'm gonna. If I had it, like if I want to go nuts, I'll be in the 3.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like
Yep.
you did just laying in bed. That's the safest place to use this thing because it's just insane. What about you guys? Let me see
Hmm.
some folks jumping up and down here. How many of you guys would, even in spite of all these numbers, would want to go out and get one of these for 3,500 bucks, knowing what it's
Hell
going to
no.
cost?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
No,
No
Right.
way.
not me either.
Right.
Never.
Yeah. Ark, what do you think about
It's
it?
just too much.
I don't want to buy one, but with all the money prices you said, I want to invest in Apple now.
Hmm. It's a good.
Probably a
Yeah.
I
good
like that
idea.
Well,
idea.
That's a good idea.
yeah, well, they said and they said that they're limiting, and they don't anticipate, they're not making as many as they would normally make on an item. Like I said, a
Mhm.
400,000 they're planning on shipping in 2024, and they say that you're not planning on making really more than that. And it's kind of interesting because I'm wondering, we talked about this last week about how many of the people who are getting the Apple Vision Pro, they're returning it there are people that
Mhm.
are returning this in droves now. It's a big thing, and you get a 14-day return period, and so people are trying it, and they're finding out that some of them are saying the multitasking is not workable for them for their jobs, and they were hoping that was going to work.
Mhm.
Other people are saying that oh, they're upset because they can't do the gaming. Well, it's not set for that. This it's not a
Yeah.
Q3. It's not something like Q2. But the one thing that, of course, everybody's saying is the displays that it's beautiful for entertainment in terms of watching media and everything. But again, it comes with the same thing. Why are you going to pay $3,500 to watch a movie when you could put on your Quest and you could still have a really great experience watching a movie there or watching something there, and you can
Exactly.
access Netflix and some of the other
Yeah,
ones that
that's
you
true.
can't get on
Mhm.
AVP, right?
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
how many
Hmm.
of you guys out there have Quest 3s? Let me see people jumping around if you've got a Q3. Okay, how many of you are on the Q2 Quest 2s? Okay. All right. And are any of you on any of the HTC or anything else? Are you guys on anything else out there? Yeah. Okay. What are you Okay, I'm kind of curious then. What are you on right now for yours? Lee?
Me? Oh, uh, I'm on Quest 3, but I have Quest 2 and I have Pico 4 and I have
Okay. Are you on your Pico? Which are you on right now?
I
Pico.
have Quest 1.
Your one?
Uh,
Yeah.
I got them all. Except
Okay.
that
Do you have
expensive,
do you have a
extremely
preference
expensive
out of all
device.
of those? And I mean going back to the one everything. Do you have a preference out of all of those?
Quest 3 of now.
Uh-huh.
I think it's really good.
Mhm. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now, a lot of people are very happy with that. By the way, there are people who have said that they have taken the AVP back and they've compared it and they said they're just so much happier with their Quest 3 and their Quest 2.
Yeah.
And we'll be touching on something regarding that if you have a Quest 1 or an older set too. We have to touch about something a little later with that. But well, so let me talk about this. So that brings this guy here. Like, this is the first guy who got his Apple Vision Pro. He was the first person to purchase it in New York City, and he was on a bunch of media because of it. It was like his 15 minutes of fame. This guy is also a physician, and
Mm.
he brought this thing home and he had people try this. He had his family try it, and he said that they were all saying how it was heavy, that the weight was in the front of the face, it was unbalanced, and he said
Mhm.
everybody had neck strain from it and everything. And excuse me. He said that what he does mostly with it right now, he's not using it like he thought he would. And he said he's out of the 14-day return period, so if he's not going to be taking it back. He says he uses it mostly to watch movies, and he can get maybe 3 to 4 hours out
Mm.
of the time thing. He says that when he's watching the movies, though, like when it's black, the darkness and the black screen, that there's a glare. He said the tech is still impressive, but because he's using it much less than he had planned, and it's very heavy. He says it's also very isolating when you're with people. He says you think that because you can see the pass through, and because it has like the creepy, uncanny valley eyes. He says that you think that you kind of be involved with people and still be a part of what's going on, but he says he's feeling very isolated using that. That
Hmm.
there's just something different about that. And so
Interesting.
it's the whole thing. Is it worth $3,500 to just be able to really watch movies if that's kind of your thing on it, you know?
Oh, no way. No, no, no. There's
You
got to be
know?
much more to it than that. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's what I would
I
imagine, but
mean,
you know.
I would never knock somebody for if they're happy with their purchase and they're enjoying it. But these problems are, I like to call them basic VR problems, and they just haven't been addressed. I understand Apple's strategy in releasing things. They go, hey, this is this, and then they actively improve it, and they, okay, now you can do this with it. It's because
Right.
the VR is just kind of so already forward that they really should have put a few more things into it so it's not just this. Like, it's almost akin to, yeah, I love being at the movies. Let me buy an 84-inch screen TV, right? This is like, hey,
Mhm.
I'm really into the movies. Let me have them construct an IMAX theater for me personally in my home. Like, it's just on a
Mm.
different level. And it's so exciting to see the tech in there. But if you don't have, again, if you don't have the chops to back it up and to fully utilize it, it's just another TV screen. And it's just one of these, like, like
Yes.
basic things, like the head. Like, they could have easily uh, figured out something to like, it's such a good camera and such a good screen, but the head strap, it's just basic things, and that's kind of the downfall of them trying to come at it from a completely separate thing, and they're just kind of like in their own,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That just makes sense. Anyone have any other comments about that you want to kind of contribute? Art?
This kind of circles back to what we mentioned last week, though, about them not having social VR. And I'm
Mhm.
obviously coming at this
Mhm.
from someone. I work in communications and network engineering, so my head's obviously in a different place. But like we were talked about last time, one of the fundamental things about any other XR headset is that it's an evolution in kind of in telephony. This is, and from my perspective, is this is an evolution of a phone, and this is a virtual reality phone call. Whereas, the
Mhm.
Apple Vision Pro, I mean, it's kind of an evolutionary step forward with what their personas can do, but then a diagonal step backwards that it's still currently, only using FaceTime, which again, I know, and I agree with you guys are probably right that, maybe their philosophy is they want to get people adjusted to avatars and stuff, but to bring it, for VR to be isolating makes no sense to me because I mean, we're able to engage with each other across the planet and have a very personal experience even though we're a planet apart or a country apart or whatever. And
Mhm.
if this is a headset that is isolating people, that just kind of seems to defeat the, like we said last week, it's totally missing a fundamental part. And I mean, I get like you're saying, Johnny, about they're having a different philosophy, and I agree with that as well, but that's something that I don't get. I can even get not having the games, but not having the part that brings people together. That just
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I don't get that. I mean, and
It's
I
missing
agree with what you guys said
something
last week too. It's just
critical.
Yeah.
it's anyway. This is
Yeah,
an
Yeah.
evolution in
Yeah.
phone calls that's taking a step backwards.
Mhm. Mhm.
I totally see that.
No, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else have any thoughts on anything you want to add to that? Because that you bring up a really good point with that. Um, I know that's very true.
And
Well,
this is a big
speaking.
opportunity for Meta. They can parry
Mhm.
this and just knock it out of the park. Like all they really need to do, all they have right
Mhm.
now, if you're going to be like, Meta versus Apple, like they got the screens and they got the buzz. All they need to, and the user interface. All Meta needs to do, or these other companies, is put a better interface in there, right? And just clean it up a bit, put a better screen that's affordable, and they've got it. It's it's just there's a big opportunity for Meta or other companies to come in and just blow us out of the water with something.
Mhm.
Definitely. Meta did
Mhm.
say that they're, cutting back on the idea of the AR, like you said, though,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I would really like to see them stay in the game. I'd like to see what they could put out.
Mhm. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure behind the
Mm.
scenes they're still going to be. I mean, obviously they're still going to be doing some stuff that they're not going to publicize like they always do. But
Mhm.
they might be working on something, the next big thing. You never know. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. But actually, speaking of phone calling and phones and everything going on, there is the really, really cool thing that they unveiled there at the conference. There's a company called Techno, and they have something called the Phantom Ultimate. Now, this is a Chinese company. It is a rollable phone. And
Mm.
this thing is kind of cool. So what this does is you've got a 6.55 flexible OLED display, and you either press a button on the back or you do like this three finger swipe gesture or something. And the display actually rolls out horizontally to become a 7.11 inch screen. And
Whoa.
I was watching this on the video and you see this thing go, I mean, it's pretty cool, but it is interesting. It has a 2296 by 1596 resolution, and the refresh rate dials between 1 and 120 hertz, depending on how animated your task is. But they say the glass is like super thin and flexible, and it's incredible because there's a cool thing on the back, like how you put your phone down and you got to pick it up to kind of see who's calling and doing what. Well, on
Mhm.
one side of it they have a long strip of the display on one little area, and it gives you the info while your phone is down. You don't even have to touch your phone, you just take a look over and you can see what it is and who it is right there on that little strip, which I think is awesome because that kind of
That
thing
is
we
cool.
long time coming. um
Mhm.
so they tested this at 50,000, you know, rolling in and out. And they're assuming that people are going to be doing this about 8 times a day. And I have to laugh because I'm sorry, you have something like that that's going to turn into like a mini tablet. I'm going to be doing that thing like 1,000 times a day because that is so
Yeah,
cool and fun,
yeah, they're
right?
saying 8 times a day. Is that really what they
Yeah,
think?
that's what they're
Yeah,
saying on
yeah.
average. I think people will be
No,
doing
no,
8
no,
times a day.
no.
So I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
so what are you guys thinking in terms of, we've got our phablets and everything like that. What are you guys thinking? Would you have a need or a desire to have a phone that basically rolls out to a little bit more real estate for you? Faye, what are you thinking?
It'd be great. I've always been wanting that form factor of the thinnest possible that can be folded up and put into like a wallet or something and
Hmm.
transparent at that. I'm thinking like really far down deep technology movies and TV shows that we've seen, things like that, space
Hmm.
age. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it rolls out to something bigger, sure, absolutely. Have it
Hmm.
roll out
Hmm.
into the size of a
Pun.
monitor for me, that would be fine.
Hmm.
Long as it
Johnny,
fits.
what do you
That's
think?
Hmm?
I feel like I'm concerned because it's not Apple because I am a big like Apple phone user. Like
Hmm.
that's like
Mhm.
I don't know why. Like I'm super techie. I like custom firmwares and things like that. But I don't know. I just don't mess with phones enough, and I use the Apple. The second thing is that what concerns me is there's like a lot of moving parts. So
Yeah.
that kind of
More
concerns
to
me,
break.
and I just can't.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I just can't get excited with phones. Like, give me my AR headset that where I look at my palm, a screen comes out, and I can use that as a phone, and it's not
That's where
even
I want my
there. Like,
phone.
that's what it would really
Hmm.
get me. I want my phone
Give me my
like for my
contact lenses.
headset, if that makes sense. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's tough for me to get excited for phones, and plus I work with
Yeah.
phones, so I'm just like, oh, I don't want to deal with phones.
Oh
But
yeah. You're
it
kind of
is
over the
cool. Like,
phones.
I hope I might be interested, but I feel like
Well,
we can do something more exciting. I think.
Well, there
mhm.
were a lot of
I could
things
Eventually.
at
see
the
that.
conference, that they unveiled, and we'll talk about one next week. We're going to talk about Motorola's. They have their foldable phone that you could wear on your wrist. It's this flexible
Oh,
thing, and you could make it into a tent. You can slap it down on your wrist here and roll it around. You could wear it on your wrist. I mean, they've really. This conference
See,
is. I mean, my God, how amazing! They've just unveiled so many
cool.
cool things, and we'll touch on those next
That's
week.
exciting.
Hmm.
Mhm.
this is exciting. Like that's what I loved about Motorola, even since the old days. I'm probably dating myself here, but the Razor and all the other like it was just so
Hmm.
Mhm.
satisfying to hang up and close that
Yeah.
clamshell and think about
Right.
how
Yeah.
satisfying to be like you have it on your ear like a regular phone and then you're done, you just slap it on your wrist and go, okay, I'm excited now. Like you're using it like a little like a banana phone
That's
and then
cool.
it just slaps on your that I would sign up for.
Remember those
Hmm.
slap
Hmm.
bracelets?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's your
But
phone now. That would
uh,
be sick.
Motorola though,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
here's the thing, Motorola's been consistent through the years and they've always been there. They've kind of been in the background. Some of the other ones, have come and taken up. You've got the Samsungs obviously, taken over with the Android and all that. But I've kind of always eyed the Motorolas here and there and I've had some budget Motorola's on standby. I've had to use them if there were an emergency, the phone broke or we had to wait for repair or something. But I've been really taking a look at that. There's a lot less bloatware on that, and I've been really intrigued with
Hmm.
Motorola again. I'm kind of getting excited about them again, and I actually picked up a Think phone just to, so that I can switch over. Obviously, I used to be the type of person that would always want the flagship, the newest phone, and everything that came out. And then I
Mhm.
started to realize I started to watch what I was doing with them, and I wasn't using all that stuff. I wasn't using everything that came out with it. I thought this is just a lot of hype on a lot of this stuff that I don't really need. And so for the basic things that I need to be using the phone for, I'm like, oh man, you don't need to be spending, $1,500 for
Mhm.
that. Now, granted, I mean, obviously with Apple,
True.
with the 15 and all those coming out, and Johnny,
Mhm.
don't you have a 15 or something like that? Isn't that like
I
$1,500 or
did,
something?
and before that, I had the no. Well, I don't know actually. I finance it, which the
Hmm.
headsets needs to be financed very soon too. But anyways, the
Hmm.
only reason I upgraded to the 15 Pro Max was because of that spatial video. That's what got me
Mm.
excited
Oh, you
to
wanted to
be
get
able to
Yeah.
into
create a
that.
spatial video in
Yeah,
your from something in your pocket that you can have with you at all times. That made
I
me
love
go
that.
from the iPhone X or 10 to this one.
Mhm.
So we're talking about 5 generations. Like I hadn't bought a new phone in years, and this made me do it. But to
Yeah.
go back to your point where you're like, hey, I'm doing the same things with these devices, I think that's why you're seeing roly poly because they got to come up with something new. Like people are just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
keeping their
time for
phones
something
because they're
new.
working, and that's good. So they need to get
Hmm.
Mhm.
people excited, and I think that's why you're seeing the gimmicks. Now I'm one for gimmicks too, but I mean this
Hmm.
one,
Hmm.
The
Mhm.
slappers one, I'm down for. This one, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting
Yeah.
when we talk about that one next week. But I'm noticing too, it's just like even with they're saying with the new update with the was it is it V62 with the Meta, they're saying that
Mhm.
even with that update, you're able to start watching the really amazing spatial videos that you make in there,
Yes.
and they say
Yep.
just as nicely as you can, almost obviously not the same as the AVP, but they said it's pretty much close, and it's probably the closest you can get to watching your
I,
spatial
yeah,
videos like that.
I was
That's cool.
able to do it. It was very easy, and I just love watching a picture, like videos of my
Mm.
cat, and it looks all huge, and it's
Oh,
really cool, and it's so easy. Like it took like
That's
literally a
awesome.
couple seconds. Like I took the video, I went into the Meta app, and then I went to my media and just uploaded to my headset, put the headset on, and it was playing right there. So
oh
that's
wow,
That
what
that's
we
sounds
simple.
need. We need
easy.
things to just work, and
That
Yeah,
and,
is
that,
this
and
is
they did a
true.
awesome.
good
Yeah.
job. So
I'm glad they made
I
it
have
so
to laugh
easy.
though. I have to laugh that you say we need things to just work because for what has it been like a year and a half now? I've been dealing with Meta on and off because suddenly
Oh
I could
God.
no longer I can no longer take the media from my headset and get it to the app on my phone on any of my phones. I have like four phones and I can't get it to work on any of these phones, including Apple, Android, whatever. And it's very frustrating because if I'm in here now and let's say, okay, I'm gonna take a picture of you guys or I'm gonna be filming this or something, I have to hook this up to my computer in order to get anything off of it, which shouldn't be the case. But nobody
Mm-mm.
at Meta has been able to help me figure out what the problem is, which is insane. I don't know why. So, yeah, things
That's
just do need to
frustrating.
work, especially
Mhm.
that, because that's
hmm
so simple. And speaking of Meta, I'm gonna actually close out with this as the last thing we're gonna talk about today. This is something for everyone to be aware of. Now, we were talking earlier, you're talking Lee about you have the Quest One and some of the others so I also still have my Quest 1. I even have my Go somewhere too. Um, Here's the thing, Meta is deleting all of the Oculus accounts at the end of the month by March 29th. So if you still have anything on Oculus account and you have not gotten a Meta account, you're going to need to do that before the 29th because once this happens, you cannot reactivate it. You cannot retrieve your apps, your in-app purchases, any store credits. You will lose all of your achievements from your games. You'll lose your friends list, any content that you've created. And it's really crazy because, it started, what was it, 2022 that they came up with the Meta account because, we didn't
Mhm.
like having to put our Facebook accounts on there. And I
hmm
guess a lot of people just did not migrate over to that. And I had it on my Oculus account as long as I possibly
I
could.
did
And
too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I
but I
know my
did
Quest
migrate
1.
over finally. Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I know that everything was on the old stuff, but that's a heads up for you guys. If anybody has that or you know anybody that still has their stuff on an Oculus account, get that done before the 29th
so
because you do not want to
Don't
lose
lose
everything.
so
your
this is
purchases. No.
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
question for me. If I got rid of that and went to the Meta with the email account, I'm still good, right? Because I don't have a Facebook. I just have like they allowed you to just sign up with an
Yeah, it
email
was a
for
meta
like a
account.
year, and I took advantage.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
good, right? Okay, I won't
As long
Yeah.
as
disappear
it's
at the end of
meta.
that. Okay, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
want to
just like
disappear
it's
Yeah.
just as
again.
long as
So
it's not just Oculus. That's
okay,
the only worry. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
it
Yep.
should
running out
it,
of
it
cool
should be there.
names, so yeah,
Gemini's
if I
got
disappear,
something for us.
Oh yeah, Jem,
What
Yeah,
you
I
how
got
just
about
for
you?
us,
have
Jem?
a yeah, I just have
Mhm.
a question. So as long as you can still keep your Facebook connected even though you do have a Meta account. As long as you have a Meta account, you're fine.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They actually prompt you sometimes to connect your Facebook to your Meta now to your headset so that you can share with friends and all this kind of stuff. So I'm
Mm.
assuming that it's the same process that if you've done that, you're okay.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
I
as
I
long as you're
think
logging
that's the
in that
case as long
way.
as you're yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
main
I
thing
would
is
say
is that you're not just logging in with just an Oculus account. Like, that you click Oculus and log in with an email. That is where you need to make sure that
Okay.
you've
Yeah,
you've linked the other things.
I made the transfer because I was a bit scared back when they asked us to change over to a Meta account because I think they were going to
Mhm.
tell you by January, I think of 2023 is when they wanted that over, but I was shocked that people still didn't like
Yeah, they
go
gave a
from
little bit more
Oculus to
time.
Meta. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So as
Well,
long as I have a Meta account, I'm safe basically then.
I believe so. I don't
Yep.
see any. I haven't read anything about that not being an
Okay.
issue. Just as long as you are not on your original Oculus account that you set up your headsets with from the beginning,
Mhm.
that should be
Okay.
fine. But I'm kind of
Thank you.
curious. Are you guys? Of course, yeah. Are you guys all comfortable having your who has their Facebook account connected to their headset? Let me see you bouncing up and down if you do. Yeah. Are you guys? Did you have any concerns about that at all? Are you comfortable with that situation, or was there anything at all that was Jem? What do you
Hmm.
what do you think?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable, and I'll explain why. Because sometimes like if you're recording a video in here, or anywhere, it makes it
Mhm.
really hard for it to go directly to your Oculus account. And so
Mhm.
sometimes I find it
Mhm.
easier to share it on my Facebook page just under me for no one to see it in order for me to
Mhm.
download it. Because if you're
Mhm.
recording something in here of gameplay for 20 minutes,
Mhm.
Oculus doesn't seem to pick it up on the app in your gallery, but it's
Mhm.
quicker to actually throw it onto my Facebook page, put it under for no one to see, but only for me, and then I can
Mhm.
get the video downloaded from there. I mean, I know you could do it through your headset, but when you want the video kind of, right
Yeah.
away, I feel it's easier that way.
Oh yeah, I hate having to do this thing with the headset. It's a big pain in the ass for me, honestly. I wish my stuff would download to the app, but I like that. That
Mm.
actually is not a. That's an interesting take on it. I hadn't really thought about that. Anybody else have any comments on their Facebook? Yeah, Kitty.
I'm one of those weird people who I don't actually have my full like real name on my Facebook. So I've
Uh
got
huh.
like a shortened form of my first name that I usually go by, and then just like my last name is literally NA for not applicable. And I
Mhm.
Mhm.
don't have a lot of personal stuff on there. So that it doesn't bother me to have my accounts connected because there's not a lot you can find. I mean, even my city on there is fake. I won't say it because it's live streamed, but I
Right.
picked
Right.
a gem word for my city that actually exists.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, no. And there's nothing weird about that. When you said you're one of those weird people, there's nothing weird about it. Because you
I
have to be
like that
careful because
too.
there's some yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, and I've been in theater for many years and stuff, and I had some really creepy people who followed me over a period of years to different productions and stuff, and I did not like that. And that really, and I had some
Mhm.
really creepy phone calls and really I won't go into them all, but everything had me really concerned. And so that's why
Mhm.
I'm just like, and it's like you guys who I know and everything like that. It's not like I'm trying to, hide who I am from you or anything like that. I mean, that's awesome. But in 7 years of VR, so I think there's probably, including these two up here, I think there's maybe 6 people in like 7 years of VR. There are 6 people who not only know my full real name, but also have my personal phone number and my address. These guys have all my information. These two, and there's some others, and it's like it's because
I'll be
it
taking
takes
credit
me.
card payments.
How
Why you
dare
can't say
you?
that?
How dare you?
Cha-ching.
Right. Girls gotta eat.
She's
I
all
like
opening her
food.
own little black market, her little, her little dark web, face dark web, face dark web. But yeah, I'm so boring. Like anyone want my information of me? I'm poor and I'm boring, so nobody wants any of my information. And I don't wear makeup nowadays, so they're like, we don't want any of that. but I'd have to say that with that said, I mean, we all go by our experiences, right? And so, unfortunately, in real life, I've had experiences that have kind of sucks that made me a little wary. But hey, invest 7 years in me, guys, and you can have all my information. but
Mhm.
but um,
Marking it on
but
my
does,
calendar.
yeah, please do, please make that happen. I might even throw in a bonus. I might even let you like 6 years. I might be considering it. I might take applications. So anyway, does anyone else have any thoughts they want to add on that? No, because we're going to close off on that if we're good. Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, so we're going to close off on that stuff right now, and then we'll have some more fun stuff next week. We're going to talk about more stuff that have come out of that conference in Barcelona, Spain. And kind of excited. They have some really incredible stuff that I saw, and oh my gosh, I really want all of it. So go ahead and get those credit cards going, Faye, but just sell fake
Yeah.
information.
For me.
So anyway, guys, I really appreciate that. Faye, you have anything you want to close with?
Nothing really. Just thanks for coming.
Mm,
We'll definitely love having you back here every week at the same time, same place.
Johnny?
No, just to echo that, thank you all. Really appreciate the audience and always some
Oh, yes.
insightful commentary, and really
Hmm.
appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying it, and thank you to my co-hosts. I appreciate y'all, and everyone
Oh,
have a
back
great
at you,
week,
buddy.
and let's see what comes next week.
Yeah.
Unless
So,
they
guys, please
deactivate
Awesome.
my
come.
Oculus account.
No, no, please come, bring your friends. And guys, reminder for your week when you go out there, help people out in any way you can. Keep an eye out for people that may need a little helping hand, okay? Get out there and be a good human and do something really, really amazing for people and for yourself this week, too. And you know what, guys, when you go through your week, in the middle of the week, just randomly yell out one good thing about yourself, one good thing about yourself when you're at your home. Suddenly look in the mirror and be like, I am this. And throw something really good about yourself out there and really believe it. Okay, guys, listen, thank you again so much. We're going to be heading over
Woo.
to the psychedelic karaoke. See what I
All
did there? A little
right.
play on words.
Woo!
So
Thank
I
you
we're
so
love
going to be
it.
much.
I
throwing
love
some
it.
portals, throwing those
Yay.
Here's a
portals
portal
and
for
having you guys come
you.
and sing.
Oh, wait, that.